Pandas are considered a national treasure in China. It's their native habitat, but pandas are an endangered species because they're not breeding as much as they should, and it could be up to humans to change that. Seth Doane takes us to the Chinese research base at the center of that effort.
When it comes to pandas, there's no translation needed. Tourists from around the world, roughly 1 million of them a year, come to ooh and ah at the Chengdu Research Base for giant panda breeding. Here on more than 250 acres in southwestern China, 74 giant pandas and 68 smaller, also endangered red pandas roam and ideally reproduce.
When I knew I was coming to Chengdu, China, I thought of pandas, and I'm so excited that we're here.
Genesis Rojas and her American girlfriends visited as part of a U.S. State Department Chinese language program. Her Chinese-American friend Maggie Schiffert wants to one day work with these endangered animals.
The panda for China is like the bald eagle for the United States, and so to lose such a big part of your country and your heritage and what you stand for, I think it's really important to preserve that and to make sure that they stay around.
We're going to go up the steps right here.
Their guide, Sarah Bexell, has been a conservationist here over the last 14 years.
Where are we in the fight to save the panda?
Well, still dangerous, but better than in the past.
When Bexell started, there were just 1,000 pandas in the wild. Now there are 1,600. Worldwide in captivity, they numbered 120. Today, there are more than 300. But breakneck economic development and a population boom has turned bases like this one, in Sarah Bexell's words, into a backstop against extinction.
We want them to come here, feel attached to the animals, go home and do something about it.
Pandas have a notoriously low sex drive. Females can be most fertile for as few as 12 hours a year. Historically, that wasn't an issue until their vast breeding grounds were replaced by roads and factories, feeding the world's appetite for cheap goods.
For me, maybe I've been doing this too long because I think about every single thing that I buy.
What do you mean?
I want to get the whole world thinking about the impact of every single purchase. You know, I want to have the most fuel-efficient vehicle. I want to have a small home that doesn't take up a ton of resources. If I redo my kitchen, I'm going to make sure that wood is forest-certified wood.
When you're redoing your kitchen, you're thinking about saving the pandas?
Yes, absolutely.
In July, a mother panda, originally from Chengdu, gave birth to 2 baby pandas at the Atlanta Zoo. They were the first baby pandas born in the U.S. in 25 years. Every moment was documented.
You have got to be the eternal optimist to do this work. These pandas will likely never be set free in the wild. All of this work here won't help the number of wild pandas.
Perhaps, unless we can get people to care while they're here. Education is sort of the most important part of conservation today, because until we can change human behavior to save space for other species, any other conservation project is sort of what we call a Band-Aid.
Social change, Bexell said, can only come if those oohs and ahs translate into real anger, that this is a species under threat. For CBS This Morning, Seth Doane, Chengdu, China.
Who knew?
That pandas were fertile for only
12 hours a year?
Well, we've got a solution for that notoriously low sex drive, right?
Yeah, you like this idea, don't you? You're gonna play Marvin Gaye all year long?
Yes, give him a little Marvin Gaye.
Let's get it on.